The Nice Guys is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Second Sight. It can be found as a limited edition and a standard release available at your UK online retailers. If I had to list a top 5 of criminally underrated movies in the last 10 years, The Nice Guys would definitely be in there. With Shane Black both writing and directing, you know there is a certain style and witty script at hand. Both Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling are perfect as Healy and March. Their chemistry is fantastic, and the story has both depth and heart, plus it is hilarious. The supporting cast are also on point in the characters that they play, plus the setting of late 70s LA is right up my alley. The Nice Guys is a film that whenever I recommend it to people, I always get positive feedback, and I can't speak highly enough about it. The Nice Guys on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has an aspect ratio of 239:1. It was upscaled from a 2K digital intermediate, and it supports both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. For purposes of this review, I will be discussing the Dolby Vision transfer. Second Sight's transfer is the result of a 4K remaster and approved by director Shane Black. The film's disc encode was done by Fidelity in Motion. Bitrates maintain strong numbers, often above the high 80s. The source is exceptionally clean from start to finish. Getting the obvious out of the way, this is a 2K upscale, so a native 4K picture is not in the cards. For some, this is a non-starter, as detail enhancement is going to be minimal. That's not to say there isn't a boost to image clarity, which is there, and for most, that will be more than satisfactory. Textures show pleasing depth in both facial features and clothing. The film also supports both HDR and Dolby Vision, giving that late 70s aesthetic a nice visual jolt. The tones prominent from the era look very bold, with sporadic bursts of color in the form of neon lighting or at the party Healy and March crash while looking for Amelia. The smog-filled sky of Los Angeles gives the film a somewhat vintage look that comes across well with the grading. Skin tones show natural warmth across the board. Whites also exhibit nice stability and don't look blown out. Night sequences look really solid and properly deep. When March is sitting against a tree next to the body, the darkness keeps him concealed until March ignites his lighter. Shadow detail is done well with no crushing witnessed. The Nice Guys on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a Dolby Atmos audio mix, which folds down to a Dolby True HD 7.1. There is also a 5.1 track available. Now, where the real meat and potatoes of the Second Sight release come into play over the domestic US version is the inclusion of Dolby Atmos. Let's be clear, this isn't a demo-worthy kind of sound design to begin with, but the spatial enhancements brought on from the Atmos track are more than noteworthy. High channel activity is mostly used for atmospheric and ambient effects, with some entertaining audio cues piping in when objects and or bodies fall from above. Mid-level and rear output offers some great immersion with the film's score, soundtrack, and action beats. They even handle some quiet moments with subtle ambience. In-film dialogue itself is clean, but there is an issue I'll talk about in a few moments. The fronts also handle their respective audio cues well and nicely complement the center. The LFE is more than satisfying as impacts are met with appropriate heft and overall is very effective in its delivery. Now, I started seeing reports that some customers are experiencing a slight lip sync issue on certain players with the Atmos engaged. I watched the film in its entirety on my Oppo 203 and had no such problems. I then watched about 30 minutes on my Panasonic UB820, and paying very close attention, it does appear to be ever so slightly off. It's so close that it may only be noticeable to those actively looking for it. I showed my wife and asked if she noticed anything wrong with the audio. She didn't pick up on it personally, but for those sensitive to it, you most likely will. It's unknown as of this recording if Second Sight is aware of the issue and or if they intend to address it. There is a good variety of extras produced from Second Sight that are available on the limited edition. There are sit-down interviews with the film's director, Shane Black, which runs just over 30 minutes, and it's a really good retrospective and in-depth look from the writer-director. There's also an audio commentary from Shane Black, which I have yet to listen to but plan to very soon. There are also separate interviews with the co-producer and film cinematographer, which offers some meaty content. In addition, there is the usual assortment of trailers, cast interviews, the making of The Nice Guys feature, and more. For the picture quality, I'm going to give The Nice Guys on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray an A. I think Second Sight's transfer of the film was a more than worthy upgrade over the previous Blu-ray. Image clarity is nice, the grading helps accentuate the era-specific palette, and the overall picture is flawless. I think many fans will appreciate the visual bump. For the audio, I scored it an A-. There is a lot to enjoy with the film's Dolby Atmos mix, and everything from the more subtle moments to those involving a bit of action are well represented. I've heard the 5.1 on the Blu-ray before, and the Atmos easily takes it down. And the extras, I graded them an A+. The amount of bonus materials included from Second Sight's release will make fans of the film very happy. Of course, in addition to the new content, there is legacy material ported over from previous releases, and everything has substance and is well done. So that is my review of The Nice Guys on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray from Second Sight. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I will leave direct links in the comment section, but if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.